Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Winging It with AC. My name is AC. So today I'm going to show you what was in my pumping bag. So in one of my previous videos, I shared with you the various times that I was pumping during the day, during the night, at work and such. So I'm going to show you what I had in the bag that I was taking to work every day. Now, first of all, I had this bag. It was some kind of a gift bag. We had gifts in it and somebody gave it to us. So my husband was like, I might as well just use that for the things that I'll be taking to work to pump with. Now, the second thing I had inside was my nursing cover. So I was taking the nursing cover because, first of all, it acts as a seal. I didn't have a zip for this thing, so I just put it on top to cover everything that is inside. And then secondly, not knowing where I would exactly be pumping that day, it always helped to have it. So if you're packing your pumping bag, I would always suggest that you have your nursing cover in it, so that if you're pumping somewhere that anybody can just enter, at least you have yourself covered. So if somebody comes inside, you are fine. Now moving on, it's not a pumping bag without your breast pump. So this was the pump I was using. This is the Spectra. I don't remember if it's S1 or S2 breast pump. Now I chose this was gifted to me, and I chose this one as opposed to the Medela pump because this one has a power adapter and you can charge it, and it comes with the rechargeable batteries in it. So all you have to do is charge it and then you can take it on the go. So I was using it the entire day, and then when I'm going to bed I charge it, and then it really lasts me like the entire day, the number of times that I would pump. So I haven't really found anyone in Ghana who sells. I think I saw one shop that sells it, but as far as I'm concerned, it was overpriced. So yeah, so this was my breast pump. Now the next thing that I had inside my pumping bag was this cooler, this ice cooler. This was the best tip I received from my cousin. Now I bought this at Melcom, so she told me that I could go and get this at Melcom. Now I have a fridge at work, but it's a Mansard fridge. Like, everybody uses the fridge. Everyone in the building has access to the fridge. So the thought of having to put my breast milk in there did not make me feel comfortable at all. So I just decided, I asked her like what she does, and she told me that this is what she used. So every night I would make sure that I would fill the ice cube tray, and then before I leave for work, when I'm packing the bag, I would fill it to the brim with ice cubes. And this thing, trust me, it works really well. Like, by the time you get home in the evening, even as at, like, I can put the ice cubes in it around maybe like 7:30 or 8. Even in the evening around 7 p.m, 12 hours later, it's still very cool. Most of the ice would have melted, but the water is chilled. Like, it's very cool. So I'll say that this works really, really well. So like I was saying, I fill it with ice cubes all the way to the top. I cover it up, and then I put it inside the bag. So that's the last thing I pack before I walk out the door. And then by the time I do my first pumping session between like 9:30, some of the ice would have melted down a bit, so there's enough space for me to fit in one of the bottles that I would pour the pumped breast milk into. So if you're looking for one of these, just go into any Melcom. I directed somebody there and they also found it there, so you can just go to any Melcom shop and get this. Or if you have a cooler bag, what are they called, insulated bag, so you can also use an insulated bag. It works perfectly well. I had a friend who was using that, and then I think one day on the field, she said her ice packs were no longer cold or something. However that one works, I've never used them before, so she just had to buy fun ice. So she just bought ice cream and then packed it around her milk to keep it cool till she got home. Now the next thing in the bag is your pump caps. So I always keep my pump bottles in a Ziploc bag. So I have these. It's a double breast pump, by the way. So I have these. So once I am ready to pump, I take it out of the Ziploc bag, connect them, and then I put them on. And one tip I also got from watching several YouTube videos was to instead of having to sterilize the bottles each time you use them, once you're done using them, just put them inside a Ziploc bag and then just pop it inside the fridge. The next time you're ready to pump again, take it out. So that was a life-saving tip, because it saves you a lot of time from having to wash. Initially, when I started pumping, that's what I'll do. Once I'm done pumping, then I'll now go and boil hot water and then wash them and sterilize them. So when I got that tip, I was like, that's very helpful, and it saved me a lot of time. So what I do is that throughout the day, I keep it in the fridge. I pump every time I need to pump. Then at night, when I'm done pumping right before bed, that is when I wash it. Okay, usually my husband was doing that for me, but wash it at the end of the night. Like at the end of the day, we get it washed and then dry them, so the following morning they are fresh for use. There were some times that we're too tired to get that done, so in the morning when I'm done pumping, then I'll quickly wash and sterilize them, and then by the time I'm ready for work, it's dry, and then I just head out the door with them. Now at work, at a point I was keeping them in the fridge, but like I said, I wasn't comfortable keeping my breast milk in the fridge. Neither was I really comfortable keeping this in the fridge. So another thing I was doing was that once I am done pumping, I would rinse the 2 bottles with hot water. So I'll just pour hot water through the flange and then just rinse it out quickly, and then dry it, wring it out as much as possible, and then just come and put it back in the bag. So you can try that as well. Now the next thing that is in our bag are bottles. So I had these 3 Medela bottles that were also I borrowed them, if I should say. So I had 3 of these. Most of the time, all 3, I think I always managed to fit all 3 into the cooler. Yeah, so sometimes after my first pump, this would be full. The second pump, this would be full. Sometimes I had a lot more, but then if I pump right before I leave for work, I don't really have to worry too much about that, because like I'm going to be getting home within the next, I don't know, 20 minutes or something, so it wasn't too much of a big deal. So these are the things that are very essential. Don't forget any of these things when you're leaving for work. If you are the kind of person that you need to have a checklist, you can have a checklist, write it down, stick it on the wall somewhere that you would see it when you're packing your pumping bag, so that you don't leave anything out. The last thing you want is to get to work and realize that, oh, you left your pump parts, or oh, you left the feeding bottles. Otherwise, really though, it will be tough for you. Now the very last thing that is in my pumping bag is this. So this bag always had pocket tissues for sometimes whatever surface that I have to place the pump on. I would wipe it first, and then afterwards I would wipe it first, because sometimes transferring the breast milk from the bottle into the Medela bottle to put in the ice chest, some of it would spill or something. So I always had these pocket tissues to wipe the table before and after I pump. And then always have hand sanitizer. So the best thing is for you to wash your hands with soap and running water before you start pumping and afterwards. But if you're not in a position to do so, maybe you are in your office, all you have to do is just like lock the door and then pump quickly, and you don't want to, like, you're in a hurry, fast, or you have to pump in your car and you don't have access to that, so you would use your hand sanitizer. So always make sure that you have hand sanitizer in your pumping bag. And then nipple cream. So if you're the kind, I wasn't using my nipple cream so often, so honestly I really didn't have it in this bag with me. There were a few times that if I was having issues with cracked nipples, then I would carry it along with me, but I barely ever used to carry it along with me in this bag anyways. Now in my previous video where I shared my pumping routine, Someone asked me how I was able to pump at work and where I was pumping. Now, we need to admit that a lot of companies in Ghana don't make provision for nursing mothers to be able to pump when they go to work, and that is really sad. And I really do hope that a lot of companies become sensitive to the needs of nursing mothers, so that they can have a comfortable, quiet, a very tiny space where they can just express their breast milk when they come to work, so that they can feed their babies while they are away at work. Now, what I was doing was that even though I had an office space to myself, it wasn't in a position where I could stay there and pump, or like just lock the door and pump. So either I would go to somebody else's office and hide there and pump quickly, or I would drive 2 minutes away to my cousin's office and then I would pump there, or drive to nearby also to my dad's office and pump in his office, because he's barely ever there anyways. So you have to find, if you don't have a space readily available to you in your workplace for you to be able to pump comfortably when you go to work, you have to find creative ways of getting that done. Sometimes, I mean, you can decide, sometimes I'll be pumping in my cousin's office and then her boss would walk in or somebody would walk in, but I wasn't phased, because I always had my nursing cover on, and so I never felt uncomfortable. Sometimes she was feeling uncomfortable for me, but really I was never feeling uncomfortable. So you just have to find creative ways of getting that done if you are really determined to exclusively breastfeed, so that your baby can have the breast milk that he or she needs to grow well. Now guys, we have come to the end of this video. If you haven't checked out any of my videos on breastfeeding, I have a playlist, so I will link it down below in the description box. Go ahead and watch all of that. The breastfeeding journey is not easy, it's a tough one, but at least you can learn a few tips and tricks that will help your journey be a little easier and have a smooth process. And also guys, we are not at the end of September yet. We are not at 500 subscribers yet, so please share my video, share my channel with your friends, encourage them to subscribe, and let's get to 500 subscribers by the end of September. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.